All right. After this, you wave your chance at a photo with our Senator Abby Binay. Sip, sip si Ackerman. Kala nyo ah. All right. With your permission? Sorry, what is that? With your permission, can we call the meeting to order? Thank you. All right. At this juncture, we call Presidents Keith and President Tess Castro to jointly call our very first meeting of 2025 to order.
On behalf of the Rotary Club of Makati and
Makati Business District.
we'd like to call this meeting to
order. Order. Okay. May we invite everyone in attendance to please rise for the invocation to be led by past President Louis Asioche, but remain standing for the national anthem and the RC Makati hymn with a four-way test. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Past President David. Our Father and our God, as we stand at the beginning of this new year, we implore the need for your presence and your guidance as we face the future. We each have our own hopes and expectations for the year that is ahead of us, but you alone know what it holds for us, and only you can give us the strength and the wisdom we will need to meet its challenges. In the midst of life's uncertainties, in the days ahead, assure us of the certainty of your unchanging love. In the midst of life's inevitable disappointments and heartaches, help us to turn to you for the stability and comfort we all need. And in the midst of our daily preoccupations and pursuits, open our eyes to the sorrows and injustices of our hurting world, and help us to respond with compassion and sacrifice to those who are in need. We pray for our nation and its leaders, including our guest speaker today, during these difficult times, and for all those who are seeking to bring peace and justice to our dangerous and troubled world. We pray for those affected by the catastrophic conflagration in Southern California. We also pray that you bring our divided nation together and give us a greater vision of what you would have us to be. As we look back over this past year, we thank you for your goodness and for giving us another year, an extended opportunity to be here on earth. We thank you for the promise and hope of this new year, and we look forward to it with great expectancy and with renewed faith. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiliw, helas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Upang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagatang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong pagaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng patawad mo'y tagumpay na naghihingi, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di maghihingi. Luman ang araw ng walhati pagsinta, huwag langit sa piling mo. Ang
Makati Rotarians, you know what to do. Show our mayor and be proud. And let's all sing the RC Makati hymn.
We're the Rotary Club of Makati, and together we stand proud. We are leaders with integrity, always ready to serve humanity, always living by the four-way test, building goodwill and peace along the way, giving hope to the world. We're the Rotary Club of Makati, prepared to aid our fellow men. As true Rotarians we live to lead. We believe in service above self, and this is why we succeed. We're the Rotary Club of Makati, and together we stand proud. We are leaders with integrity, always ready to serve humanity, always living by the four-way test, building goodwill and peace along the way, giving hope to the world. We're the Rotary Club of Makati, giving hope to the world. The Rotary Club of Makati.
Okay, we move on to the four-way test for the things we think, we say, and do. As Rotarians, these are the core tenets by which we live by, and it is very imperative that we answer a firm yes to all these four questions. The first, is it the truth? Truth. Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And lastly, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you so much. We may all now be seated. And the answer is yes, 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 yes. All right. So we move on to the acknowledgement of guests and visiting Rotarians. We begin with our dignitaries. Please, when I call your name, stand up to be recognized. Past District Governor Tony Kila, our most senior governor in attendance. I'm not referring to the age, huh? Past District Governor Peps Bengzon. The Anns, first Ann Rachel Harrison is here. The better looking Ackerman is here at the presidential table, CP Mache. Annika Haxton. Other guests, President Claire Kisao, RC BGC Central, welcome. Carlos Prieto, our prospective member. Stephen and Helen, guests of Director Derek. Lorenzo Santos, our new member. I believe he's going to be inducted today, right? Okay. Maxi Marty, new member. Anton and his wife, Kathleen Alcantara, new member. Police Major Aaron Elago Acopo. Hello, sir. Police Major J.R. Fajardo. Police Captain Jenibeth Artista. IPP, Fame de los Santos is here. My good friend. Oh, there. From Paseo de Rojas. He's also the incumbent chairman of the Philippine Korea Economic Council. Hello, Fame. BCDA representatives, Engineer Joshua M. Binkang, President and CEO. Welcome, Mr. President. Luis Paula Quinones, Senior Marketing and Promotions Officer. Mr. Erwin Kenneth Peralta, Vice President, Investments, Promotions, and Marketing. And lastly, Robert Rosbert Serona, Head Executive Assistant. From the Rotary Club of Makati, Das Marinas. PIP Joan Cañete is here. Welcome. Hi, Joan. Diane Zoleta. Loris Faye Juarez. From the Rotary Club of Makati, Jose P. Rizal. PIPD Lisondra. PN Zeni Pangan. From the Rotary Club of Makati Poblacion, PIP, I'm so sorry, I don't want to butcher your name. Jayo Aquino. Thank you, Ria. Bear with me, we have a few more. We have to also welcome Raymond Cortez, Beth Villamil, Dr. Nikki Ramos, a prospective member, Rotarian, Jamila Gomez from RC Makati EDSA, and our dear friend Imelda Chandria is here, incoming member of Makati Business District. Did I miss anyone? PP Cory Carino is here. The never aging, ever graceful Cory. Hello, sis. Okay. I would assume that I did not miss anyone. So we have to welcome properly our guests. There are many of them. So RC Makati Rotarians, please all rise. RC Makati Rotarians only. Mayor Abby, no?
Friends of Rotary, we greet you. All friends of
All you.
Friends of Rotary, we greet you. All friends of Rotary, we greet you. We want you to feel that our friendship is real. We are glad you're here today. So take back home a little cheer. Regards from all the fellows here. And when once more you're here, our Lord, come again, our friends, come again.
Thank you. You may now take your seat. Welcome. And we would like to greet our birthday celebrators and wedding celebrants. Andrew Escaler, happy birthday, Andrew Escaler, January 20th. For Ans, we have Menchu Tiglao, 14th of January, Meli Parungao, 15th of January. Happy wedding anniversary, PP Fred and Meli Parungao. PP Roland and Kalingyang, both January 16th. Happy wedding anniversary to Judge Cesar and Baby Cruz, January 18. Judge, happy wedding anniversary. Dendrix and Jamie Lau, 19th of January. Andy Manialak, I'd like to invite you so that we can serenade properly the birthday celebrators. Wala na? Wala na daw? Gov Peps daw, Gov Peps. Pepito. Okay. Yeah. We will be singing Ayaw Lang ni Gov Peps.
Louis,
Nagpapakute.
Louis,
Ah.
Louis. Press
No, 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 no. It's not a cappella. Dapat ano. Come. Louis.
Yes, there. Okay na.
Magpakitang gilas na kayo sa mayor. Kasi pagtapos, national stage na.
Okay,
Baka mahirap na i-text.
yeah,
Just kidding. All right. Louis, let's do this.
acapella. Okay, 1,
Pick
2.
Louis over here and Andy over here. 1, 2, 3, go.
Birthday every day. Let's celebrate this important day. We greet deep in our hearts still a happy birthday and happy way.
Can we move on now to the more serious part of the program? Okay, now Mayor Abby knows the drill. We're really fun-loving people here in RC Makati. So we are all very excited for the State of the City address. Now we call on past District Governor Tony Kila because this is a very important portion of the program where we induct three new members of RC Makati into our family. Past District Governor Tony.
Thank you, David. We have three new members we are going to induct today. Now, may I call them to come here sa stage? First is Anton Miguel Alcantara. Classification, power generation, proposer. Rante Aguila, can you come here, Rante? Also join us here. Anton is the Chief Executive Officer of Alston's Power Group. Second, we have Maxi Marty, classification lease financing. Proposer is his father, Conrad Marty. He is president of Universal LMS Finance and Leasing. Conrad? Conrad? Tutulog ka na. Then we have Lorenzo Santos, classification media practitioner. Proposer, past President Charlie Rufino. Lorenzo is the co-owner of 12 Media, and I think he will be the youngest member of our club. He's only 29 years old. So may I call on past District Governor Bengson to do the charging. You're Bengson, right?
Forgive Tony, his senior moments. Can you face me, please? Face me, please. I'll have you. Okay. Okay. Anton. Anton. Lorenzo and Maxi. You're here today because you will be inducted as new members of the Rotary Club of Makati, the premier club in District 3830, covering the areas of Makati, Taguig, Pateros, Parañaque, Muntinlupa, Las Piñas, and the province of Palawan. This must be mentioned that you are aware that we are part of a district, something which I was not too much aware of when I joined Rotary in 1995, 30 years ago. So you're nominated to be members of RCM by seasoned and well-respected RCM members. Anton, your sponsor is Rante Aguila, who joined Rotary in 1990, about 35 years ago. Um, Lorenzo, you are being sponsored by past President Charlie, who joined Rotary in 1978, which is 47 years ago. You weren't even born yet. And Maxi, you couldn't have chosen or you couldn't have a better sponsor, your father, past President Conrad Marty, who joined Rotary in 1985, 40 years ago. But more important than the invitation of these seasoned Rotarians is the fact that they trusted you enough to share the experience of the magical world of Rotary. And equally important, you trusted them well enough to accept the invitation and try it out. That's a very important start and step. So, gentlemen, Rotary can be summed up in two words: fellowship and service. Today, Tuesday, is our club's weekly meeting and a chance to be acquainted with the members of the Rotary Club of Makati. That's fellowship. It is also an opportunity to listen to the updates of the club and district activities. So I urge you to make time to attend the weekly meetings. Luckily, Rotary International realized about the impracticality probably of having 4 meetings a month. So they allocated 1 meeting for club service. But here in Rotary Club of Makati, we still try to meet 3 times a month, one of which this Rotary year has been dinner in a Rotary clubhouse. Right, President Key? Which brings me to the next important part of Rotary, and that is service. I'm certain that PDG Tony included in your orientation the different areas of focus and the different avenues of service. I will not give a lecture on Rotary 101 today, but I urge you to find time to know more about Rotary, the guiding principles of Rotary, the object of Rotary, and the very famous 4-way test. Together, may I ask our fellow Rotarians to recite the RI vision. Fellow Rotarians, please join me in reciting the RI vision. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. Thank you very much, fellow Rotarians. You know it by heart. We have 50 committees in the Rotary Club of Makati. 50 committees. I don't know if you've already chosen a committee to join, but I urge you again to join at least one service committee. We also have fellowship committees: golf, bowling, basketball for some of you who are young enough, shooting, and many more. So before I end my charging message, let me share with you 2 very important reminders. 1, pay your dues. In any organization, there are dues to pay. In Rotary, we have RI dues, district dues, club dues, assessments, Rotary Foundation donations, and contribution. If you fail to pay your dues, your sponsor shall pay for you. If they refuse to pay your dues, they have the authority to wring your neck and strangle you until you cough out the funds. Seriously, I will admit that Rotary is not cheap, but I guarantee you that Rotary is rich in fellowship and service. Even in a voluntary organization like Rotary, there is such a word as commitment. Commitment of your time, commitment of your talent, and commitment of your treasure. Which brings me to the second reminder, and that doesn't only apply to union members, it applies to all Rotarians. The level of satisfaction that you will experience as a member of the Rotary Club of Makati will highly depend on the amount of time, talent, and treasure you're willing to commit. I repeat, the level of satisfaction you will experience as a member of the Rotary Club of Makati, or eventually a member of the committee, or a director, or even a district officer, will highly depend on the amount of time, talent, and treasure you're willing to commit. I hope I have not discouraged you, but you have 5 seconds to change your mind before I call President Keith to administer the oath. 1, 2, 5. Okay, President Keith, I think they're ready to take their oath. And due to the solemnity of this oath taking, may I ask all Rotarians to please rise.
May I ask the Anne of Anton Alcantara, Mary Kathleen, can you join us here, please, in front? Mary, there you are.
Angle a bit so that we can get mainly to get a good photograph, I think.
So welcome. So now I'd like to ask the new members anyway, not the sponsors. The sponsors there are there to support. Please raise your right hand. And I, after being sworn in as a member of the Rotary Club of Makati, do solemnly swear that I will abide by, follow and uphold all of the provisions of the Constitution and bylaws of Rotary International, as well as those of my club, and to fulfill to the best of my ability all the duties and responsibilities of my membership. I pledge to advance the object of Rotary and to exemplify Rotary's maxim, service above self. I further swear to promote awareness of the theme of Rotary International in 2024 to 2025, the magic of Rotary, and of the duties and responsibilities that go with it. All these I pledge freely and voluntarily, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. Thank you. So,
Can we play some upbeat songs, please? What you're witnessing right now is the traditional bib signing. Traditional bib signing for newly inducted RC Makati members. If I can just make a request, RC Makati Rotarians, please let us let our talk. Hello. Just introduce yourselves and let's make this a very swift one. Because as I said, our program is very loaded. Loaded. Paging Ron. Okay, we're just trying to be creative here and further save on time. If we can please invite the participants of the MOA signing between RC Makati and RC Makati Jose P. Rizal to please take your respective places here to the right while they are finishing here the signing. It would be much appreciated. So we are hitting two birds with one stone. And as they do the signing, I will describe the MOA signing that's going on. Okay? Oh, RC Makati Rotarians, behave ha. No loitering, no loitering. After your turn, please take your seats. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, I would like to request a mic that's working, please. It's not. Hey, brother. Paging Johnny Ang. Johnny Ang. Paging Johnny Ang, please. Front to my right. You are a signatory much needed here. There you are. Sorry, do not shoot the messenger. I just need to rush things. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, we will witness the signing of the Memorandum of Agreement between the Rotary Club of Makati and the Rotary Club of Makati Jose P. Rizal. May I call upon President D. Lisondra to sign on behalf of RC Makati Jose P. Rizal. And for RC Makati, we have our President Keith Harrison, who will sign the agreement, witnessing the momentous occasion. And we also have President nominee Zenny Pangan of RC Makati and Director Johnny Ang. I think it's not the microphone. It's something that has to do with the connection of the wireless mic. So the agreement being signed is a partnership project of RC Makati and Makati Jose P. Rizal for Pillar District Grant Project. For the information of the audience today, the project is for the Dugtong na Daan para sa Kasaganaan or Road Extension Prosperity in Purok Pinagpala, Barangay Bahile in Puerto Princesa, Palawan. Okay, children, a little silence. Children, please. The total project cost is 160,000. And Makati, Jose P. Rizal has an approved funding through District Pillar Grant amounting to 60,000. And to augment the remaining 100,000, Makati Jose P. Rizal will dole out 50,000 as club equity, and the remaining 50,000 is the counterpart of our club. Congratulations. My goodness, we really need better mics. Okay, there will be another signing later after the Q&A portion of our beloved mayor. And this is between RC Makati and the BCDA. So please, everyone, no French exits. every part of the program is really super important. All right. So let's do this very, very quickly. Club announce functions and committee announcements. Do we have any committee member, director who would want to make an announcement? If not, yeah, I'd appreciate send it via Viber. Okay. There being none, we move on. We move on to the president's time, as we like to stick to tradition. Ladies first, President Tess Castro. Maybe you have some announcements, but sana brief lang. Hello, hello, hello. Is this better?
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. I would like to invite you all for a joint meeting at the Valentine fundraising concert this February. More details to follow. Our chartered president, Mache Torres Ackerman, in partnership with Palawan Clubs, we launched the water sanitation environment project in partnership with Climate Change Commission of the Philippines. That's it for now. We can now all listen intently to our guest speaker, Mayor Senator Abby. Happy New Year to all.
Thank you so much, Tita Tess. And right now, we'd like to call our RC Makati president, President Keith, for his president's time.
Thank you very much, President Tess. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. Happy New Year! A full house to start the year. I'm so pleased to see everybody today. It's a pleasure to welcome you all for the first lunch meeting of 2025. As is our tradition, we are honored to open the year with the State of the City address, delivered today by none other than the Mayor of Makati, Abby Binay. This tradition started with your father, I believe, our member and former Vice President, Jojo Binay, and is a cornerstone of our club's connection to the city we proudly serve. Mayor Abby, as you approach the end of your term and prepare for greater challenges, we reflect on your transformative leadership in Makati. Your dedication and achievements have set a high standard of governance and service, and we wish you the very best as you carry forward this legacy. As we embrace a new year, I'd like to reiterate, you saw a video right at the start of the program. I would like to just acknowledge again the cherished tradition we have of the last Angel gift giving project. This year was a banner year, breaking all records in donations. The number of children who benefited, thanks to the generosity of over 1 million pesos, over 1.2 million pesos, brought joy to 3,800 children. Some, if I remember, with the police PNP afternoon as well. But these are from Manila to Ilocos and all about the country. Wherever we have partner projects which involve children, we try and go back at Christmas time and share presents. So we have had such an overwhelming response. We finished up not being able to complete all of this gift giving before Christmas, and some of this will now continue into the this year. We already had one last Sunday, and I would like to encourage everybody who has still not been to one of these to try and put it in your diary. But particularly, I'd now like to say a heartfelt congratulations to IPP Bing Matoto and the Rotarians team of Tess Asioche, Cecile Darit, Rose Galvez, Trina Galvez, Rachel Harrison, don't know who she is, Kat Rufino, Marie Segura, Amy Villatua, and many other ladies who helped put the whole program together and have set an incredibly high bar for next year's chairman, or chairwoman, which will be my wife, Rachel. If you haven't joined, as I mentioned, if you haven't joined a distribution yet, it's not too late. The next one is on Wednesday at 2:30 at White Cross Orphanage in San Juan City. Witnessing the smiles and wonder of on children's faces, and as you saw there, allowing them to make performances which are truly fun to watch and enjoyable, gives me a lot of satisfaction. I'm sure anybody who has the chance to attend, you will get a lot of satisfaction in seeing those smiles. And it embodies every essence of Rotary service. We're only halfway through the year, so that means I can carry on talking. No, David says no. Much to look forward to, just some highlights, okay? But to remind everybody, as we have a good audience here today, on the fellowship front, 31st of January, we have a much anticipated Friday Night Lights pub crawl. Please mark that in your calendar. In February, we will have a post-Valentine's meeting at the BGC Greenway. In March, we'll have our charter anniversary and the launch of the Payang Hechanova Youth Leadership Award, which will only award up in November this year, but we will launch it. In March and April, we plan to have visits to sister clubs in Thailand and Japan. Director Derek is on the case with that. And in June, of course, we will have our awards night. On the service front, so much more important, we will have a Rotary dormitory project in Bicol region this time. Construction is scheduled to start now, and the inauguration will be in May. Dual Tech scholarship program has already started, but we're also working on a global grant for a CNC lathe machine. We're waiting for the final approval for that grant, and then that will go ahead. We're going to do another Reef Buds program. This time the Reef Buds will be deployed back again in Navacan in June of this year. We're going to do another mental health program, looking after at-risk youth in Cagayan de Oro, and this will be in March. We, in partnership with the Ginny Goldberg, or the Natasha Goldberg Foundation, and the RC Cagayan de Oro. We're also going to be doing another special showing of the 1,000 Forests, so in the environmental field, where we will do this at the Sisters of Mary. I hope Boys Town this time, as the girls have already seen it, promoting environmental awareness, and this will be in February, assuming the sisters agree. And we will continue the Special Magic program, which is a program to increase the knowledge of teachers and, in some case, parents who work with special needs kids. So we have done one in Makati, and that has recently been completed, including assessments of the kids, and found it to be successful. And we're now going to do another one now in the outlying schools in Benguet province. So it will encounter, in March, most likely, a trip to Baguio to launch it. And I hope some members will be able to join me when we launch that program for the teachers out there, to give them more of the needed skills to deal with special needs. So let us continue to uphold the Rotary spirit, making a difference while fostering meaningful fellowship. Your unwavering support and active participation make all of this possible and make the club worthwhile and importance of its being. So I please implore all of you to work hard to make the second half of this Rotary year impactful, fun, and rewarding. Here's to 2025, another filled and purposeful year, period of service above self. My goodness, I got a tongue twister as well. Please, back to the MC.
Thank you, President Keith. Round of applause. Now it's time for the main event. And without further ado, we call on Charter President Mache Ackerman to introduce our beloved mayor and guest speaker for her State of the City address. Thank you.
Thank you so much, PP David. Good afternoon, everyone. So I know everyone is kind of sleepy full after a very good lunch, but we all have to do what we have to do every start of the year. This is the ninth time that our mayor or our speaker is going to do her State of the City address with us. So once again, I have the pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for her ninth SOCO or State of the City address of Makati City. She has dedicated her career to improving the lives of ordinary Filipinos. As a lawyer, member of Congress, and mayor of the country's financial district, she has always believed that Filipinos deserve a better way of life. She entered public service in 2007, winning a congressional seat at the age of 31. Probably you were the youngest Congress. You're not, but not that time, not yet. She was elected mayor of Makati in 2016 and re-elected for 2 more terms. As Congresswoman, she served as one of the youngest deputy minority leaders in Congress. She actively pushed for legislation promoting enhanced health and education services and protecting women's and children's rights. Aside from consumer protection, tax reforms, stronger local governments, and improved working conditions, she promoted livelihood opportunities for underprivileged senior citizens, housewives, persons with disabilities, and out of school youth. She served 3 terms in Congress, rising the position of Deputy Majority Floor Leader. As Makati mayor, she expanded the city's groundbreaking social programs, primarily health and education, extending top of the line and innovative services for all its residences or residents. I'm sure most of us here who are from Makati can attest to that. She believes that a healthy and well-educated citizenry are the foundations of a stable future, one where the fruits of economic growth are shared by everyone through stable jobs, greater economic opportunities, and better public services. Also introduced innovations to promote efficiency and strengthen transparency and good governance. Because of her management initiatives, Makati received an unmodified opinion from the Commission on Audit for 7 straight years, which means that city's financial statements adhere to COA guidelines. Pinapalakpakan po yan. That's why she's my favorite Binay. She also launched key initiatives to boost investments, securing the support of the private sector. This has translated into a solid revenue base that ensures better social and development programs in the years to come. Her dedication to service and leadership has been cited by various local and international organizations. She's also internationally recognized for her passion to promote climate change awareness, my fellow environmentalists, and disaster readiness among local governments. She sits in both executive and advisory capacities in international climate change bodies, including the Office of the United Nations Secretary General. She holds a bachelor's degree in human ecology from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, and a law degree from the Ateneo Law School. She passed the bar in 2002 with flying colors. Abby is the daughter of former Vice President and Makati Mayor, our fellow Rotarian, Jejomar Binay, and former Makati Mayor, Elenita Binay, Dr. Elenita Binay. She is married to Congressman Luis Campos, our next mayor, and they have daughter Martina. This may be her last year to speak in front of us as the mayor of Makati. But we are looking forward to have her again as a speaker, as a senator soon. So, fellow Rotarians and friends, let us all stand to welcome our very hardworking Makati Mayor, my favorite Binay, Abby Binay. Oo naman.
that recorded. I will make sure that you will never forget. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Please take a seat. Was that even live streamed? Yari. Huh? Yari ka. So good afternoon, President Keith Harrison, distinguished members of the Rotary Club of Makati, and honored guests. So for the last 8 years, I have stood before you to report on the state of our city in different venues. I still remember. So what we have done in the previous year and what we intend to do for the year ahead, it is an event that I look forward to since it's my opportunity to speak directly with you and answer your very difficult questions at the end of the speech. So today I will speak before you as your mayor for the last time. Are you happy? Are you happy that this is the last time I'm going to be delivering State of the City? But we're reminiscing. My goodness, how we've aged through the years. So when I was first elected mayor of Makati, our city was already a city of immense promise and possibilities. Makati has long been a symbol of economic power, a hub of innovation and governance, and a community with vibrant culture. As a first-class city in terms of income, we know our progress was only the beginning. And we could always achieve more. But I believe then, as I do now, we cannot settle for pwede na or good enough. We need to aim higher and push further because we know that we can do better. So good governance is more than a commitment in Makati. It is our bedrock. We have shown our commitment to transparency, efficiency, service, and innovation to meet the growing demands of our business community and our citizens. And for these, we have earned recognitions from local and international organizations. These include the first LGU in the Philippines to receive, we are the very first, the Data Privacy Seal of Compliance, a seal of good local governance from DILG, and 7 consecutive unmodified audit opinions from the Commission on Audit. So we have made government services accessible to over 5.2 million online users, redefining public service delivery in the process. Through business-friendly policies like our one-stop shop and the Makati Zen card, we've empowered micro, small, and medium enterprises while strengthening our digital economy. Education is the greatest investment we can make for our youth, and it is also Makati's enduring legacy. During my term, we have instituted new programs to ensure that every child has the tools to learn and adapt while looking after their health and nourishment. So with smart classrooms, renewable energy in schools, and innovative initiatives like the Library Book Mobile, we are able to address learning gaps while preparing students for a fast-changing world. I'm proud to share that Makati's Benigno Ninoy Aquino High School, who unfortunately is now on the other side, at that time when they took the exam, that they were still under Makati, was the only public school in Metro Manila to score above the minimum proficiency level in the 2022 program for International Students Assessment, or PISA, the only public school. So this achievement underscores our commitment to providing quality education that meets global standards. So we have revitalized the Makati City Scholarship Program that has empowered students from all walks of life, producing graduates who have earned Latin honors and pursued advanced studies abroad. And as part of our commitment to higher education, the University of Makati School of Law continues to make its mark as one of the country's top performing law schools. Pero Ateneo pa rin. Sorry. Ah? The best school in Makati. So in 2024, the UMac School of Law had a bar passing rate of 90.91% and ranked number 2 among law schools with 11 to 50 bar examinees. We regard access to quality healthcare as a right, not a privilege. The city has invested over 8 billion pesos to provide free maintenance medicines to thousands of Makatizens through the Makati Health Plus program. You would be surprised that even those living in the villages are now claiming their free maintenance medicines. So since 2017, this program has served over 800,000 patients, ensuring that essential medications are accessible to those in need. In addition, we have been providing free and unlimited dialysis treatments to our citizens. Since its launching in 2022, we have extended 166,000 sessions, free sessions, to 9,268 residents. We have provided 9,000 free chemotherapy sessions to cancer patients since 2020, further demonstrating our dedication to comprehensive healthcare services, especially to those who cannot afford the cost of these treatments. In 2023, Makati's poverty incidence stood at an impressive 0.6%, the lowest it has ever been, and one of the lowest, if not the lowest, among major cities. Our Human Development Index, which measures the quality of life of citizens based on the quality of health, education, and standard of living, also rose to 0.903. The HDI goalpost set by the United Nations Development Program ranges from 0 to 1. Konti na lang. So a greener Makati is a better Makati. So we have built a city prioritizing sustainability through initiatives like the Urban Greening Program, which planted over 5,000 trees, and renewable energy projects like solar panel installations in schools. With the greenhouse gas reduction ordinance and cleanup drives revitalizing waterways, Makati is leading the way in environmental stewardship, ensuring a sustainable future for generations. For our efforts, the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, or UNDRR, named Makati as the very first resilience hub in the Philippines and Southeast Asia. So additionally, I have been appointed a member of the United Nations Secretary General's Advisory Group on local and regional governments, contributing to the advancement of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and New Urban Agenda. Safety and security have always been our top priorities, and we have strengthened disaster resilience and public safety through advanced monitoring system and a proactive disaster response plan. I remember on my very first State of the City address, there was one Rotarian here who asked me that question about air quality sensors. I remember that specifically. Last year, we have already deployed indoor air quality sensors and outdoor quality sensors for all barangays. So this is no longer one sensor that will cover a bigger, a smaller area, but we can even determine the quality of the air on a barangay level, real time, because we use IoT devices. So also our new police and fire headquarters, which is the one by Malugay, and the state-of-the-art equipment have further enhanced the capabilities of the Makati Police Department to protect the Central Business District and our barangays. I am pleased to report that the Makati PNP has made considerable progress in crime prevention and resolution, and over an 8-year period from 2016 to 2024, the total number of crime cases in Makati has decreased significantly from 867 cases in 2016 to 295 cases in 2024. Layo. I guess there's a lot of law-abiding citizens now. So additionally, the Makati PNP's crime-solving efficiency rate has improved from 69.78% to 76.9%. So all of these would not have been possible without your participation and support. Since 2016, Makati's financial stability has reached historical levels. From 16 billion pesos in 2016, our city's revenues have grown to over 24.15 billion in 2024. And this is wala na yung 10 barangay ha. So even without the 10 barangays, we have grown to 24.15 billion last year. So with over 22.2 billion of our income generated locally, our sound fiscal policies have supported these transformative programs that have made Makati a better city, that has made the quality of life of our citizens so much better. So please, if kanina sinabi, please remember to pay your dues. Please remember to pay your taxes correctly. So our achievements in Makati in good governance, economic growth, education, sustainability, healthcare, and more prove that progress is possible when people are at the center of every decision. And there really is no reason why our groundbreaking social programs, primarily in health and education, cannot be implemented on a national level. With the right priorities, partnerships, and determination, these initiatives can uplift communities across the Philippines. Makati has shown that hindi pwede ang pwede na. It is not just a slogan, but a commitment to doing what is right and delivering what is needed. When we focus on transparency, innovation, and compassion, we create solutions that work and improve lives. Let us carry this vision forward, not just for the people of Makati, but for every Filipino. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. And I'm ready to answer your difficult questions.
Such a good sport. Such a good sport. She knows that we're gonna be throwing curveballs. Curveballs, huh? For the very last time as the mayor of our great city of Makati, the floor is now open for questions, and we will be doing it just like always, orderly. Raise your hand to be acknowledged, and I would tell you if if you're acknowledged. If not, don't. Boy Arteche takes first dibs. Who's next? Just give me a signal, huh?
Nance, Abby, to my fellow Atenean. Ha? Atenista ko dito. Okay. You'll be leaving your office as mayor. What assurance do we have as Makati residents that your excellent program will be sustained? Ano man?
Well, that can only be answered by if you vote for the person I am endorsing.
Aha! ¿Quiénes? ¿Quiénes?
And that person happens to be someone I sleep with.
Ah, yes.
So I am assured that he will continue my project.
Of course. You are the commander-in-chief.
Direct to the point.
Oh, yeah.
Are you satisfied?
Endorsement, but yes, there are a lot of projects, not just the policies that we have started, but projects that we plan to start.
To continue. Oo. Sige. Thank you, Javi.
Okay, we'll do this very swiftly. Before I acknowledge past President Bimbo Mills, again, no grandstanding, no storytelling. Please just ask your question. Marami pong gusto magtanong. Pipi Bimbo.
Mayor, any chance for the subway to continue, the subway project of Makati to continue?
When I was here last January, that was the time we announced that it was no longer viable. But fortunately, we are currently under negotiations with another group, a local group that will pursue. So we are still, it is still in the drawing board, but it is something that we hope to continue. We're just doing some pencil pushing, yun pong the financial statement and all that. But it is still it's still a viable project.
So the issue about where the stations will be
The stations will be now limited to the remaining area. But the nice thing about the new proposal that we are currently negotiating with the new group is that it will help the central business district.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pipi Bimbo. We have Andrew next, and then just give me a signal who wants to ask her their next question.
Hi, Mayor. Thanks so much for all your
excellent programs and everything you've done for Makati. Um, I think that Makati is going to be an even better place to live in the future, in the next 4 years than it is today. Can you tell me why I'm correct? Why will Makati be an even better place to live the next few years than it is?
Well, I think one is that we've introduced a lot of innovations that will make the city more competitive. Um, there is the tendency that your neighbor will introduce or update or develop their area, and there's the tendency for the citizens or businesses to gravitate to that new city. So we always have to introduce new things to keep us on our toes. So one thing that I still have to solve is mass transportation. Unless we are able to solve that issue of traffic, um, it's like a death wish for the city because everyone will just move to another city where it is really more convenient to live in and work at. So the mass transportation system that we hope to be able to do in our lifetime, not in our next, in the next, hopefully in the next 3 years, we will have new news. But it really depends on who the new mayor will be. Kasi kung hindi yun yung mayor na, then chances are it's not going to be the same. So, we want you to pay your taxes more efficiently by making payments online. We don't want to hassle you by literally falling, di ba yung mahaba yung pila. Even for our social benefits, we are the only city municipality in the entire country that's able to provide benefits not to the underprivileged only. We are able to provide even for those that live in the villages, even those that live in the condos, even those that are uh, capable of paying for their medical bills, paying for their medicines. Um, and there is really that sense of community. So, you would want sobrang hard sell, di ba? Pero the most important thing is continuity and good governance. If you don't like your government that runs your city, you wouldn't want to live here. Di ba?
Yes, ma'am. Tama naman. Continuity. So that's the key word. Did the mayor answer your question, Andrew? Diba? Brief tayo. Now we have past President Eric Lecane. And do we have Rick Santos asking a question next? Okay. Rick, you'd be acknowledged after Eric. Thank you.
Hi.
Yes, Eric.
Hi. Yeah. So, as you know, there's been a great depression in the real estate market in China. And there was an article that came out in The Economist in Europe a couple of months ago that they were believing that the Philippines may follow suit, that there was an implosion coming in the real estate market, especially in places like Makati and BGC. And what they said in that article is they were looking at 15 to 20%. What do you believe might occur especially in this area in the next couple of years? And is the government doing something now to make sure that that does not occur?
Okay, I'm not sure if I can divulge that kind of information.
Oh, come on.
um, I'll have to ask permission from. No, okay. So, I think Ayala Land will be introducing something new for the Central Business District. You'll have to ask them. But they're going to be introducing something this year to make the Central District more competitive. Number two, we will announce in very, very soon that for the city of Makati, with the new law, which is called the RP Bara, where we will be changing our zonal valuations for our real property taxes. For the city of Makati, we are hoping to lower our lower. So what it means is with the new law where the valuation will come from the Department of Finance, so the value of your real property tax will no longer real property will no longer come from the local government unit. It will be set by the national government, but the national government has the authority to determine the level of assessment or the percentage. So to offset the the impact of an increased valuation, we will decrease the level of assessment. So parang mag-offset. So it's not going to be very burdensome to the taxpayer. So those are things that can help cushion the issue of real properties.
Okay.
But
Thank
I
you, May.
think I read somewhere there was also an article that said that I think as far as Makati is concerned, we are still competitive compared to the other cities.
Yeah, I mean, what
Right.
the article was saying is that over the next couple of years, they were in worry about the Philippines, that the cost of things like condos and houses in the larger cities
Yeah.
was going to drop.
I'll try to look
because
at
of the
the
world market.
I'll try to look at the article and send it to you.
I don't know if this is timing or otherwise, but the next question is a real estate authority. So Rick Santos, maybe you can.
Rick should be able to answer that question.
Yeah, before you post your question, maybe you can chime in.
Sure. Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks, Mayor Abby, for all your great leadership and initiatives, all you're doing. So I'll address the real estate. I'll address the real estate question first. Well, I think congratulations, because under your leadership, Makati has reached all-time highs, and it's been featured in a lot of different journals and whatnot, including the Knight Frank Journal, for some of the top performing real estate in the world. I think with regards to the question, I think you know, just with Makati per se, I think there's been a lot of pressure on the real estate markets globally. The office sector globally has gotten hit. And obviously residential with interest rates going up, that's been an issue. However, Makati in specific and the Makati villages have done extremely well. And since the infrastructure is great, there's a constrained amount of space. So I think the office sector, I think there's still, the rents are still holding, maybe dropping a bit in some of the older buildings. But as the mayor said, there's some massive redevelopment plays and gentrifications in place, as well as the Condominium Redevelopment Act, which you'll see a lot of those buildings in Salcedo and Legazpi getting redeveloped. So I think that there will be some pressure on, like in the Bay Area and Pasay area with the exodus of the POGOs. That's going to be a problem. But I think Makati, the growth in your real estate will be in good shape. So it's, I can talk to you afterwards as well. We probably wrote some of those more positive articles. My question, Mayor Abby, is I just came in yesterday from Los Angeles, so I experienced the Pacific Palisades fires firsthand, and it's probably one of the more horrific things to ever be seen. I know you've done a lot of work with fire prevention and building up the fire departments, et cetera. I just want to know maybe what some of your thoughts are going forward as we've seen the devastation in Los Angeles, California, and how Makati per se can get ready and prepare for something like that.
So not just specific to fire, we actually require condominiums and even office buildings to have a disaster evacuation plan. We do have a lot of drills as well. It's important that your disaster preparedness does not just mean that your government is prepared. The community also has to be prepared. So we do engage in trainings for people in the barangays and even in the condos, that they have to be able to help themselves. I think that's the problem in LA. They rely heavily on government. But here in the city, we have to engage the community constantly. We're even teaching kids how to use a fire extinguisher. Because disaster should not be just for your public servants to know. You should know how to do first aid. You should know how to use the most important is the pressure. Even if you have water, but there is no pressure, you're not going to extinguish the fire. So we are introducing other things. One thing I saw in a hotel, which I hope we'll be able to do in some of our buildings. Even the Swiss embassy was introducing something for an evacuation for a building. It's a thermal blanket or like a mask. So if you're in a high-rise building, you can just put it on so you can still escape. So we do have a lot of high-rise buildings. Unfortunately, our fire truck, I think I don't have the exact height, but 28 floors. Oh, see, architect June knows. So up to 28 floors. I think we make sure that our fire trucks are Rosenbauer fire trucks from Austria. They are not those prefabricated China-made fire trucks because again, we have high-rise buildings that will need rescuing in the end. So we are prepared, but again, the best way to be prepared is to engage the community.
Good. Thank you for insights and thank you for your leadership.
Okay, we have His Excellency Ambassador Melvin to ask the next question, then Architect June Palafox. But before you ask your question, Mayor Abby, the ambassador is a full-fledged member of RC Makati. Okay? So we don't do honorary anymore.
So does that mean he cannot be transferred? He will be forever designated in the Philippines?
If I can help it, why not? I'm the proud sponsor, right? Brother, please.
Thank you, David. Thank you, maybe. Thank you always for your leadership. It's wonderful stay in Makati. On behalf, yes. On behalf of the United Corps, I'd like to thank you for making Makati such a wonderful place to live. I know all the ambassadors here really enjoy living in Makati, and thank you for your leadership in a sense. I have a question, number one, regarding affordable housing. I think that's one of the key concerns of many Makatizens who are living here. So would your current administration have plans for how you can promote affordable housing? Number two, I know you're a Senate hopeful. You have my vote if I can vote. But what do you hope to bring to the Senate in your term? Thank you.
What you will bring to the Senate? Brains? I don't know. Um, sorry, your first question was for housing. We do have a project. It should be a PPP. It was supposed to be a PPP project, but because of the amendment to the code, it has become rather difficult to pursue a PPP project. But with the limited space, the only way to go is high rise. So it's something that's still in the works, but it's supposed to be in, should I announce? In Poblacion. So the housing, that is one project that I have been unable to pursue in my 9 years that I'm hoping my successor will be able to do. So that's one. Number two, I think in the Senate, although there are senators that did come from a local government unit, the perspective of a mayor, because there's a disconnect with the law that they pass that is difficult to implement, which the local governments implement. So a better perspective will probably what I will bring in the Senate. A local perspective.
But Mayor Abby, your first summary, brains, it did the job for me anyways. So yeah, thank you for that. Next to be acknowledged is Architect June Palafox.
Suki
Yan.
naman to si Architect
Thank you,
Jun eh.
It's more of a first affirmation. We just completed the revitalization heritage plan for Poblacion. That's one. And I must affirm, no red tape, no corruption. So I told the heritage committee, if you don't reply in 2 weeks, means approval. And they stick to that. Another one was several issues. I've been working on project in Makati since 1983. And now, Makati CBD, the daytime population is 11 times the because the employees are priced out of the housing stock. Since the villages don't want to densify, go high rise, maybe outside the villages, we go vertical urbanism, tall building. That's one. So jobs and housing, there's a big disconnect. Imagine 11 times population. The daytime population 11 times the nighttime. Another one is, I think I've been discussing with the mayor, all the real estate properties of the city, like public markets, use the air rights for housing and parking. Another one, we can have elevated walkways, interconnected. Mayor Still Ayala, we propose that one, De La Rosa, can be extended all over Makati and across Pasig River. As many employees from Mandaluyong, take them 1 year, more than 1 hour to go to Makati. If they're just pedestrian and bicycle bridges, it can address that problem. So housing in Makati, there's still a big demand, both luxury and affordable. Thank you very much for allowing me to share. So I hope the heritage zone of the population will be continued. Our plans that we worked so hard with, and we dealt with professionals from the city. Thank you.
So I remember Architect June's, my very first SOCA, State of the City address. Si Architect June was complaining about the red tapes. Oh my God, si Architect. Oh my gosh. And I'm going to see him again next year. Oh no. So at least this time around, we are doing a project with Architect June. Yes, I think it will be one of the legacy projects for Poblacion. It will be a walkable barangay. And it's part of our heritage conservation project for the area of Poblacion. So something to look forward to.
Thank you, June Palafox. We have Billy next. Maybe after this, we'll allow one more question.
Good afternoon, Mayor Abby, and thank you so much for all the work you've put into Makati. As we start off the new year, and I understand this is your last term, what do you feel is your most significant legacy that you could pass on, reflecting over your past years? And is there any advice you could give to your successor to continue all the hard work that you've done for the people of Makati as well? So,
Don't sleep, you work hard. Um, I think I always find it strange when people say, you're doing such a good job. Really, what am I doing? I really don't know what I'm doing right. But then I realized that one thing that I have changed from the previous administrations, or for any politician for that matter, is I've somehow eradicated the issue, the persistence or the style of a politician, which is patronage politics. You make people fall in line to get their social benefits. You don't, for the senior citizens, you don't even have to show their face. They get their allowance. Um, the conveniences of being able to get your services while you're watching TV, without having to worry about even the streamlining the services or the making it easy to apply. Um, most politicians would want na sila lagi, di ba? Their face is plastered all over the place, or um, they're a constant figure. I'm really more of an administrator rather than a politician. I want government to run efficiently, even if you don't. Kasi marami you see them, but the government is not working well. My style is very different from my dad. Hindi po ako pumupunta sa patay. Hindi ako pupunta sa patay. Hindi no ako kumakain sa karinderya. My dad has his own style. So mine is also different. They may not see me in the ground, but they know that if they need something, I'm there, or I can solve their problems. So hopefully, one, for my successor, not to change that, yung balik yung patronage politics, bring back yung palakasan system. Because I always say, even if you did not vote for me, you still get your benefits. I have no choice because you're qualified. And make, I've promoted so many employees while I was mayor, and it was always based on merit. It is not based on kung malakas ka sa akin. Yeah, it's patronage politics. The same way that if I'm not aligned with a barangay captain, but he works well, I have no problem. But if If the barangay captain is aligned to me and he does not work well, then forget about being aligned. So it's always about doing a good job. It is not about alliances. So I work well with people that think like me, I guess. So, yun. Hopefully, hindi niya mabago. Sana.
Thank you very much, Mayor Abby.
We have one more question that we can allow. Is there anyone else who would like to? Okay, past president and first and Rachel Harrison. You'd be the last question for the Q&A.
Thank you for allowing me to give the last question. And Mayor Abby, I just want to ask you about solution for parking. We go to Poblacion a lot, and in fact, we have a small cafe in Poblacion, but a lot of people are very discouraged to go to Poblacion because of the parking. And apparently, the people who are, parking on the road, some of them are not even from Makati anymore. They're from Mandaluyong or Manila because, they get a lot of money by parking on the road. So my question is there a possibility for a solution for parking? Like, for example, only an example in Europe, it's also very congested and very busy, the tourist area, but it works. There's one-way road, etc. And I really hope that we find a solution in Poblacion because it's such an attractive place for having fun, for creative people like so many of us. Thank you.
So I think the problem really is for our country, if you have a problem with traffic, you just build more roads, but you don't lessen the cars. If we do implement a policy where no no garage, there are a lot of houses, the early houses in Poblacion that were built prior to the building code in the early 60s, that don't have a parking space. So one thing that we do is even for the computation for the floor area ratio, we do not include the floor for parking for developers. Hindi ko kasama yung parking doon sa computation. The only solution to the issue of parking is if you do not bring your car. You don't bring your car because there's a very efficient mass transportation. Number two, you don't bring your car because it's very safe to walk. Right? Or number three, the weather is very accommodating for you to walk because you don't need to bring your car and everything is accessible. So I think the number one solution really is mass transportation to discourage people to bring their cars. There was a recommendation before early on when I first started, which was a tolling system. But I think that's anti-poor. If you do pass a tolling system, I think Singapore is doing that. That's not something that I would want to introduce for the city just to discourage people to bring their cars. I mean, the reason they bring their cars is because they either have to go to work, or they transact business, or they live here. But the thing is, if you live here, how many cars do you have? More than one? Two? Three? But your garage can only accommodate one? Two? And the reason why you do that is because there is no efficient public mass transportation. So that's something that we.
Ask a follow-up question. Like, how about the system they have in Legazpi Village or Salcedo Village where they have parking attendants and then they can just pay? Yeah,
So
because it's not
for-
happening in Poblacion.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, in Legazpi and Salcedo, those are usually commercial establishments. And in Poblacion, I mean, outside central business district, these are residents. Technically, street parking is regulated by the city. We can disallow people from parking from, we do implement one-side parking, but nagagalit yung may-ari, the owner of the house, ends up having an extension because he has a parking space, but the other side doesn't have a parking space because it's out on that. So it's really a community issue. For Poblacion, you have to remember Poblacion is the very first barangay in the city of Makati. It does not even have a sidewalk because it was built during the Spanish period. So some of them don't even have a building permit because it was built prior to the building code again. So um, there are houses that don't have a garage. So it's only when they renovate or they rebuild or they make a new structure that they're required. So that's the problem. We were actually thinking of partnering with Century Mall or Rockwell, where they can do a shuttle. They can use the parking of Century Mall, or well, Rockwell was not interested. But I was thinking that Century Mall would have been perfect as a parking space for those that are patronizing Poblacion and just have a shuttle service. But it has to be an understanding or a MOA between the establishments in Poblacion. So for example, I'm a restaurant owner and I will reserve or lease a slot specifically for my restaurant in Century Mall. So we did consider that. So we just need to push some more for Century Mall and the establishments in Poblacion to just have a shuttle service. You park in Century Mall and you have a shuttle that brings you to Poblacion. So that's one of the more immediate solutions that we thought of.
That's an
Well,
excellent solution. Thank you very much.
so this is the part where I ask for my sincere apologies to the Rotarians and guests who were trying to ask your questions, but this is the only time that could be allowed because we have one more. Natakot na si Mayor Abby. No, I am waiving my right because there's still a part of the program. And on that note, and because of the interest of time, President Keith Harrison will do the response on behalf of the two clubs. So yes, now please, sir.
So, firstly, Abby, Binay, Mayor of Makati, thank you very much for sharing your time and your experience as mayor with us today. And I would like to please ask everybody to give a huge round of applause. Thank you very much.
Everyone, please rise.
Yes.
This is our very dear mayor that we're talking about. Thank you so much, Mayor Abby.
I think we're all very pleased to learn the areas that you have focused on. I took some notes, lots of notes actually, but I'm not going to say everything on this, I promise. But good governance, having the 7 consecutive years of good governance from the Audit Commission, I think is something that's very impressive, and we should all be very thankful for living here. Your focus on education, and we touched a little bit on also special needs, but I think further work on that is something that we can all be very pleased that you're working on, and thank you for that. Health and the things that you're doing for the Makatizens and helping them with their meds and the other programs that you talked about. Thank you very much for that, and I learned a little bit more about that. I'm afraid as a non-Filipino, it doesn't actually help me, but it will help my wife a little bit more. The sustainability that you're working on, I think I'm also very pleased to hear that you want to be sustainable, and your involvement in the UN sustainability group is also very heartwarming to know. The fact that these things aren't just possible in the city, but they possibly are exportable to the whole country, we're also very delighted to learn because, of course, we don't only stay in the city, we also travel around a little bit. So many of those things which are so nice to have in our city, in your city that you've been leading for these last 9 years. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time today. Thank you for sharing your time with our members and our guests here today. Thank you very much. Please, stand up and applaud again, please. Come on.
President Keith, please hand the mayor our simple token of appreciation. And then we'll have a photo op for the presidential table.
All right. So here we have some flowers. We're not going to give you another book. We will give you a book when it gets updated. I think you've already got one. We'll also provide you.
No, she's got several.
Because you're probably still reading our book, so you can now drink a new bottle of wine for the
RC Makati Rotarians, please stay. We still have raffle and we're raffling off Macallan bottles. We are not just raffling off Macallan bottles, but we still have one very crucial part of the program, which is the signing with the BCDA. So please hold your horses and let's stay for a few more extra minutes. No more photo op. Okay. Now we move on to the, okay, once again, for the very last time, just as the mayor, let's give our biggest warm round of applause for Mayor and soon-to-be Senator Abby Binay. Thank you so much. Okay, now we move on. God bless you, Mayor Abby. We know that you will not waste our taxpayers' money. Let us move on to the signing with the BCDA. May we call on Charlie Rufino, PP Charlie. Okay. Of course, President Joshua Binkang. Is he here? There you go. So may I, President Keith is here, past President Charlie is here, the president of the Basis Conversion Development and Authority is here. The president of BGC Central, please. So, okay. We also invite Mr. Richard Sepe, Vice President, Land and Assets Development, and Mr. Erwin Kenneth Peralta. All right. VP for Investment Promotions and Marketing Development. I'd like to request also the presence of Michael Kepler, BGC Greenway Project Manager, and President Claire Kisao of RC BGC Central to witness the signing. Everyone's here. For everyone's awareness, the BGC Greenway Project is one of the major environmental and community development initiatives of the Rotary Club of Makati, launched in 2018, spanning 1.5 kilometers from 31st Street to the south BGC entrance. It holds the distinction of being the longest linear gateway, longest linear greenway in Metro Manila, surpassing Rizal Park by 50%, with 8 entryways: First Street, 26th Street, Kalikasan, Balanghay, McKinley Greenway, and Lawton. It is not only a functional green space, but also a symbol of accessibility and sustainability for residents and visitors alike. Today's memorandum of agreement formalizes our collaboration with BCDA to further discuss, share knowledge, and explore potential partnership opportunities. This partnership aims to develop a feasibility study report for the potential expansion of the BGC Greenway, a project that continues to embody our commitment to environmental stewardship and urban development. While the signing ceremony and photo opportunities are ongoing, let's shift gears and have we done our raffle, or are we doing it right now? So let's do it. Ron, let's do the raffle right now. While President Keith and President Bingkang commence the signing. Maybe we can throw in some lively music as well. Who's gonna win the bottle of Macallan? I can add it to my collection. Oh, Ambassador Melvin Castellino. Brother, you shall be drinking that with me. Did you win already in the past? Oh my goodness. One lucky Rotarian. Congratulations. Ron, please hand Ambassador Melvin his his prize. Do we have another one? Okay. So congratulations. Brother, you are drinking that with me. Happy New Year indeed. Okay, congratulations, Ambassador Melvin. And once again, congratulations to everyone at the presidential table who is involved in this milestone initiative. And thank you for your continued support of our projects. Handshake. After this, we call back President Tess Castro and President Keith to officially adjourn the meeting.
Baka daw maibagsak niya, kaya hindi niya mawalis. Hindi niya mawalisan niya.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to adjourn the meeting. Ding!
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good day, everyone. And it's nice to start the year right. See you at the next Rotary meeting.
Doon din Lisa sa plano.